Hey, welcome back to Hefe SC. My name is Angel, aka Hefe, and I'm excited for another new comic book day vlog. There's a lot in store for today. I know Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Wonder Woman, new Punisher, so I'm excited to get over to the LCS and kind of end this month off with a bang. But before we get over to the comic book store, let's see my top 5 from last week. All right. So yeah, my top 5 from last week. Last week was a really, really good week. So it was kind of hard, but I think not as hard as the week before that, where I basically had no idea what was going to be my top 5. This week, it kind of came to me pretty quickly as I was reading. I was like, okay, I know for sure this isn't the top 5. Starting with my number 5, Mega Man number 1, or Mega Man X number 1 from Udon. Really, really good start off to the issue. It is kind of not frustrating, but if you haven't read the first previous 2, like issue zeros, you wouldn't really understand what exactly was happening. But I think for any Mega Man fan, for anyone who wants to get into Mega Man, this is a really good jumping in on point. The art is amazing. The storyline has me intrigued a lot. So overall, just a really good book, and I'm excited to see Mega Man X and, actually read actually get more into the Mega Man lore. I only played the games. I really like Mega Man, and I want to know more about the lore. So this has me excited to continue doing so with Mega Man X. Number 4, Side Dimensional Rivals number 2, Peach Momoko with the Sod Ribbage. Really, really good continuation from the previous run. I loved the art when she went to the Academy universe with Loki as a teacher. It was just really fun, and I don't know, I'm loving this series a lot. I love the idea of every time she goes to a new dimension, it's a new artist, it's a new writer, whatever may be the case. It's just been so fun, and I'm excited to see what other dimensions they do, where else they take this book into other art styles we may end up seeing from Side Dimensional Rivals. I also do like how Sai herself, even though she's finding the stones, she doesn't plan on keeping the stones, but she loves to travel. She loves that she's going all over the place. She loves that she's getting to go on this adventure. And so instead of saying I have a stone, she's saying I still haven't found one. And I think that's a little bit wholesome and kind of, that I understand. These dimensions have been fun so far, but it looks like that's coming to a quick close. It looks like it's about to pick up in a storyline that's going to start forming here soon. So overall, Side Dimensional Rivals number 2, really, really fun book. My number 4 from last week. And then my number 3 pick, Captain America number 7, appearance of the Red Hulk. I am loving Captain America. I get that they're building up to an event right now, so it's not really delving into kind of what he's doing and his role right now in just kind of standalone issue. But overall, Captain America number 7 was really, really, really good. Seeing Red Hulk, appear and just kind of throwing his weight around was so fun, and seeing Captain America understand that I'm not going to win this. So bringing in Nick Fury Jr. and just kind of having, him kind of talk down the ledge saying, we're going to handle this. You step out of line, we're dropping the bomb on you. And that's just really funny because, there's nothing else they could do. They just got to say, get in line, or we're going to, just kind of bring everything to an end right here and now. And I just really love that. And I just love that they're showing the power struggle in Latveria. I love that it's not as simple as we took down this great dictator, now we're gonna rule a new person. Is this person good or bad? Who knows? No, it's a power struggle. There's multiple people trying to take over it. One guy is a throwback from when he fought Dr. Doom for the first time in previous issues, and now he's kind of like, this is almost a mini Doom. And now you're kind of having this almost 2 parties in Captain America stuck in the middle on what to do there, especially because that's not his country, but at the same time he cares about people. He cares about people being treated right. So it's been a really good fun read, and I want to see how this power struggle turns out. Who's good, who's bad, and is Red Hulk gonna make another appearance, or he's gonna keep throwing his temper tantrum, which he does in one of the panels. I don't know. It's a really fun book, and I just love everything that Chip Zdarsky is doing with Captain America right now. All right, now my top 3, or I guess my top 2. this was really hard. I didn't know what to put where, but unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to go with Fantastic Four #8 as my number 2 for this week. I say unfortunately because I love this book. I know some people are kind of in between on showing this alternate dimension Sue, but I just like that they're reintroducing Malice. They're bringing back this old school character that is kind of underrated, or not underrated, but isn't really a. It's kind of like a nostalgia character. Do you know that the Invisible Woman had an evil arc, Malice, blah blah blah. I feel like Marvel Rivals put more people onto Malice, but I feel like unless you were watching the cartoons or reading those issues, you're not too familiar with who Malice is. And so I'm loved that they're bringing her back underneath Invincible Woman and as an alternate dimension Sue. And that just whole part, like just reading the beginning and it's kind of seeing like, okay, Hickman is really showing how powerful Invisible Woman is, which I think we can all agree she is the most powerful Fantastic Four member. And so he's kind of doing that, and then it's a twist at the end where she had this dream, she lost control, and she ended up killing the whole Earth, ended up killing everyone but Johnny. Basically, has Johnny gives her a lobotomy, and then boom, next thing you know, she's the one who's been harming Galactus, and she's finally face to face with our Sue and our Fantastic Four. So I'm excited to read how that's gonna play out, how that fight's gonna go, because I feel like Invincible Woman, they're showing off how OP Sue Storm can really be, and I love that. I feel like she's such an underrated. Her power aspect is so underrated. I feel like people sleep on how powerful she can be, and so I'm excited. I've just been loving how much Sue Storm we've been getting from this run. I feel like she is one of those characters where I feel like you can use as a mouthpiece. She's the more rational one. She's probably the straight man. The Thing has guilt or insecurities. He's he has that aspect of him, Johnny Storm's ego, and then Reed Richards not only guilt for what he did to the Fantastic Four, but also he doesn't think like everyone else. So just having Sue Storm be the mouthpiece for several books now, it's just been so fun and such a really good aspect of this run, and I'm excited to see that face off between Invincible Woman and the Fantastic Four. And then, of course, my number 1, which I feel like I did predict this was going to be my number 1 last week, Ultimate Spider-Man number 24, the final issue. I'm so sad. This has been so good. It's the only Spider-Man book I'm reading, so right now I won't be reading any more Spider-Man because the current issues, they're awful. The current runs are not good at all. And so I'm kind of sad to see this come to an end because it's been my fix. It's been my Spider-Man fix. And I don't know. I know they said Hickman and Chiquetto, like, they could come back. But I feel like this book kind of put those rumors to an end. This felt like a goodbye. I feel like this is one of the few Ultimate books where I feel like they might not bring back. Maybe they will, and I'll eat my words, and I hope that's the case. But in this case, I don't think they will. So, really, really good final issue. Just, that part of Kingpin, instead of doing the whole what if he runs for mayor, president, whatever, they kind of cut that off right then and there, showing the backstory between Peter Parker and Mary Jane, how they got to where they were, and just kind of like the whole overarching aspect of how this came to an end and where they are in that current moment. It was really, really nice. A good final goodbye. I know this book is controversial because there was a period where this is probably the best book on the stands. Then they lost some people. Then they gained some people back. It's kind of been all over the place. But so far, I feel like for a final book and a book that may not be coming back, I'm happy with this, and it's my book of the week. But yeah, enough of me yabbering about my comic book opinions. Why don't we go over to my LCS, see what's in store for this week and what I may think is the predicted book of the week. All right, peace. All right, bag secured. I even got some bags and boards as well, so literally bag is secured. But why don't we get over to the house and see exactly what I pulled today. I'm excited to show you what I got. All right, I'm back at the house. Comics on deck. Bags and boards are secured. I hate bagging and boarding, I'm not gonna lie. And I started the other day to bag and board my pile of comics that I've been neglecting to do so for, and then I ran out halfway through, which that's how it goes. But time to get into what I picked up from my LCS. Starting with Wiccan, Witch's Road number 3. I'm not collecting this. It's just a Peach Momoko cover, and I gotta get every Peach Momoko cover. so talented. I just love the way her art looks. But yeah, that's Wiccan's Row number 3. Maybe I'll read it just to see what's going on with Wiccan. Not too familiar with him, so maybe if I like it, I might collect it. Who knows? But then Spider-Man and Wolverine number 10. I've been really loving the team up run they've been having, and I'm surprised that it's been going for so long. I like the villains they introduce, and so I'm excited to see exactly what this next arc is going to look like. Ever since they got rid of, I think his name was like a Ratnix or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here and just kind of what the next arc looks like. I don't know if this is the last issue. It might be. I'm not too sure myself. I didn't really like to see if it was the last issue. But hopefully it's going to be just as fun as everything else has been. And then Sorcerer Supreme number 3 with that DNA cover. Such a good cover. I've been loving the color blocks he's been doing for all of February. I'm kind of sad I didn't collect more of them, but you know, Sorcerer Supreme number 3 just looks so clean. I've been loving what they've been doing with Wanda. It just kind of sucks that what they've been doing with Wanda is also kind of putting Doctor Strange in that weird Asgard thing he's doing. Now, I'm a really big Doctor Strange fan. I love Doctor Strange. So I've been reading it and keeping up with it just because I love the character. But it is kind of sad to see that he's not back on Earth doing, you know, Sorcerer Supreme things. But you know, Wanda has been having a really fun with that whole story of her as Sorcerer Supreme. And last issue with the Agatha appearance was really fun. And so this appearance, I'm not too sure what they have in store for us. I know it's Madeline Pryor showed up at the end of the last issue, so we're probably going to pick up where we left off there. But all in all, really excited to see what Sorcerer Supreme number 3 has in store for us. And then next up, Rogue number 2. Rogue number 1 was a really, really exciting issue. I'm loving the whole, you know, what did she do in her past, unlocking those memories and seeing exactly, you know, the full backstory of Rogue. I've been loving just seeing more of that, and I'm excited to see what they do for her going forward. This issue has me really excited because are they going to build up upon what we already seen? And I know we're going to get some Mystique action in this issue, so you know, gotta love when you get an appearance from Mystique. And then next up is Punisher number 1. I'm kind of sad that Punisher number 1 is getting a reboot because I really like the Red Band series they were doing, but I guess they wanted to continue that story and make it more available to people. So I understand. This cover, oh, that negative space cover is so good. It just works so well, especially with the Punisher. Just seeing that skull in that like black negative space is so sick. I don't know what to expect from this. I don't know if it's picking up right where the Red Band left off, and exactly where they're going to take to his story. But sad that they ended the Red Band to reboot it, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to dive into more Punisher. I'm not too familiar with him. I feel like I know bare bones stuff, and I read like World to Come and the Red Band issues, so I'm excited to see, you know, the reboot, and hopefully it picks up where the Red Band left off, or not. I'm not too sure. And then another DNA cover, Iron Man number 2. I mean, Iron Man number 1 was really, really good. This whole trying to replicate, find a new Tony Stark kind of deal was so fun. And just kind of just switcheroo where they thought they were going after Piper, but they're really going off his winner of his award. Was a really, really cool twist. And now we're going to see Iron Man in action for the first time, because we didn't get too much of it last issue. So I'm excited to get some more Iron Man action. And this series has me excited. It just seems like it's going kind of in a different direction. It's going to be really fun to really dive into this Iron Man run, especially because they're not pulling from stereotypical villains. It looks like they're trying to switch it up. So I'm excited to get Iron Man number 2 and get into that more. All right. Book of the week. Man, predicted book of the week. I'm not too sure. I think it's a tie, but I think I'm going to give it to... Okay. Absolute Wonder Woman, number 17. Not my predicted book of the week, but come on, dude. She has been killing it this entire run. People are starting to... I think she's been confirmed to take over Wonder Woman's mainline run. So that's really exciting. But Absolute Wonder Woman 17. This whole series has been so good. Then the annual probably the best annual I have read ever. That was a straight 5 stars. It was so good, and it portrays this version of Wonder Woman so well. So I'm excited to see 17 to keep continuing forward with the whole storyline they've been picking off, building up here, and it's just so fun. And dude, I love this series. It's been my #1 series so far. I'm a Marvel fanboy, but Absolute Wonder Woman is probably my favorite series on the stands, or the shelves, I should say. And then my pick of the week. Absolute Martian Manhunter, #9. This, like I said, I think I mentioned this before in a past video. It's like Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Martian Manhunter is like right there. But Absolute Martian Manhunter #9. I just love everything they're doing. I'm so glad this book is back. Last time we were seeing Absolute Martian Manhunter, John and the Martian split. They kind of went their separate ways, and then the Martian Manhunter got captured. So I'm gonna be excited to see how we're gonna see them get back together. If John is gonna be aware, and also just kind of how we're gonna take John from here, because the big twist at the end kind of makes me wonder, okay, is John even going to try to save the Martian, or is he going to be fully corrupted by that new villain, quote-unquote new villain? So I'm just excited to see what they're going to do there, and I don't know, I feel like they're going to do awful things to that Martian, and I don't think that's a good thing at all. I don't know. I'm excited to get into it. This is my book of the week, but overall, not a big pull list because it is the end of the month. But March has a lot of bangers. March just has so much coming out, so I'm kind of excited that this week was cheaper for the sake of my wallet. But I appreciate y'all joining with me on this new comic book day vlog journey. Let me know what your pick of the week is. If there's anything you're excited for, if there's something you're sleeping on a little bit, or maybe something I'm sleeping on, let me know down in the comments. But it's been a pleasure going on this journey with y'all. I hope to see you again next week for another new comic book day vlog. Peace.